on the stage. Fans have shown up. It's a good day for Counter-Strike, folks.
Right, let's get into this one then. Heroic with the T-side start over here on Overpass. Finest, they impressed us yesterday in that matchup versus Imperial here. Have they done their homework to face the Danes on a bit of a signature map for them? Out towards long early on the Heroic side.
Oh.
Just a decoy, bit of a fake flash there, and right now Heroic are running amok. They've got all this toilets control, gonna start to move into Plesson, who's gonna try his best to hold the line here, but he's getting overwhelmed, he's getting overran, and so it's Cadian with the opener, an early 5-on-4 for the Danes.
Plesson has been the best pistol player in this entire event, right? Dweg was tweeting it earlier this morning. He's been the guy making these first rounds happen for Finest, but he's the first guy gone. Heroic are going to fall back into that other bomb site right now. 2 CTs in position, a third moving in. Shox misses that timing. They're out Monster already. He gets picked by Tessez. Beautiful headshot with the USP. Anarquez too far away to stop this plant, and he gets removed without a problem. Heroic are running wild, and it's looking like a flawless pistol.
Yeah, it's about to be real clean. Cadian's even rapping Heaven to add insult to injury. Right now, Kriaz is on a real timer, and he doesn't even know it yet. Cadian, how tricky do you want to get with this? Oh, he's got the butterfly out.
But will he sting like a bee? It certainly seems like it.
There it is, knife in the first round of this series.
Yeah. Stal said he didn't feel the pressure, he wasn't nervous, Heroic weren't worried. I mean, this should be one of the more favoured games for Heroic that they played in the tournament. Should being the key word, right? Finest have already gone further and higher than we already expected in this tournament just by getting to playoffs and beating Imperial yesterday, but Heroic know they're the heavy favourites, and pulling out knives and pistols is certainly one way to show it.
Full eco out of Finest. They don't elect to force up here. They want to bring out guns right away. A full mid-stack. Connector and middle just laden with Finest players, and while Cadian is about to discover this, around the corner and into the USPs. First man down, but the rest of the AKs are here to farm up these kills.
Ace robbed, but that will do. 4 for Stown, and no problems. They even take all the AKs out of the round, the 1 MAC-10 left alone. So perfect round for Heroic, but it was only meant to be a single kill for the side of Finest. Coming in with the guns in round 3. Got to start strong here on the CT side, right? I think a pistol could have been a way in, right, with having the best pistol player of the event. The Desk talked about how, you know, the pressure of Heroic maybe doesn't start prior to the game, but when you start losing rounds, when you start falling apart early, Heroic haven't had that problem. They have started very strong, and they need to keep that up here. Buy is in. Twist wants to take space.
There's also a skirmish over here in Khan, but it's not gone the way the Finest wanted. The Galil quickly quells the threat over in Connector, and now Finest, they're trailing behind by 2. Someone's got to make a play. Someone's got to be the hero in Twist. He could be that man. He's dropped the bomb out towards Monster.
Oh,
Shush now dead in Con as well. Heroic having to go back and regain this bomb control, and Finest, they are dealing with this round. This was a 3v5, and now we end up in a 2v2. The bomb makes it in, and so Finest, they're going to be retaking in an even odds bout.
But Heroic know what's up, right? They've got the free plant, they've got the Heaven post plant. Finest have to come all the way around on the flank, knowing these 2 players with Con and Short. Heroic have so much advantage, so much space taken. They're going to move all the way up. Refresh considering the long rotation, but it's out through Monster on the big flank for Finest. Anarquez moving in. They don't have a smoke for that bomb. Molotov may be nice, but going to be difficult to cut Refresh out in Heaven. It goes in the perfect place. That's forced the low player to be the one to take contact, but with no tap on the bomb, Heroic aren't peeking, aren't pushing, aren't moving a muscle, and Finest are going to have to throw in the towel. No kit, no chance. Heroic find the gun round.
Yeah, man, they even saw a flash come out of Heaven. They knew that the post plant was there, and so they just write this one off. It's playing it safe, it's playing it by the numbers, but Finest, they've got faith that with everything, they're going to be able to put a round on the board soon.
This is such a cool opening game right here in Lund, because we have the Danes versus the Swedes. Obviously, Finest pulling in the Swedish core a few months ago to add to some of these younger talents. And yeah, I think it's a really fun game, because I'm sure we've got some Danes in the crowd as well come over very close to Copenhagen. So we'll see who the crowd gets behind as things go on. But right now, Heroic don't seem deterred. 2 AKs kept forward. Finest going to pop mid.
Oh, Anarquez is looking to get stuck in here with his AK. Creeping up middle right now. No idea for Heroic. It's down first to fall, and Anarquez still hanging around. Now looking to dart out of there. They'll play the 5v4 out. They don't want to risk losing this AK out in no man's land. It's already got the results they were hoping for. And so now we're going to enter a little period of silence here where Heroic are having to clear all these close angles in mid. Over in Con, Twists wins his fight, and Shush is knocked out of the round again. That's now a rifle retrievable down in Con. Even though they lose Pleston, Finest is still sat pretty in this one.
Finest couldn't win there, 3-on-5. They got close. Heroic trying to do the same thing. They've pulled back the first. Cadian waiting patiently. Might get something for this. Free gun gone. Finest lose Anarquez, and that weapon that they dropped in middle earlier on is irretrievable as well. No one near Twist. He just decided to get out to reset back towards his A site perhaps as Heroic move up on the mid and long. Got to make your call here. Twist will make the right one for now. Heroic flashing their angles. 30 seconds. They don't have to commit, but they've got no other map control, so you may as well. Very passive is Krias. He doesn't really have the gun to do anything here. It's still going to be all on Twist. The more experienced player of Finest to step up big.
Yeah, mollied out. Forced to take a very wide angle. Heroic are coming. That Molotov is the signal that the Barbarians are moving in. Twist, now they know about him. They know that he's here, trapped behind the van. Looking to swing this on his teammates. Contact, Twist with the double. 1v1, Cadian needs the kill. 1 second, and Twist will hold the line. 4 in the round. And a big one from one of those hero AKs, stepping up when it matters most. It's the battle-hardened Twist that rises to the occasion.
Insane, right? 2 guns kept over, and they find all 5 kills from them. Yeah, sure, Twist comes in with 4, but he plays that perfectly, baiting on the truck, firing off pot shots, letting those pistols take contact. And as Heroic's backs are turned, Twist puts bullets in them. Cadian, he had no choice but to run down in the clutch. He had 1 second left up, needed that kill. And Finest come in early with the goods. They pick up a eco round. Those saved guns from that monster retake in the 2v2 proved to be profitable. Heroic are put down on pistols themselves. They want to explode.
Oh, Finest could get caught here. They've only got 1 man on Monster. Now he's going to underhand this smoke. Shox has given himself a little bit more room to work with. The nades are nice as well. He's getting support from CT, and this Monster push has been dealt with without even breaking a sweat. That is clean for Finest.
I like that setup as well, right? It may only be 1 guy on Monster, but that's to stop the guns from getting picked up. That's to stop the deeks from range down deep picking you. Shox is able to drop a smoke, spam 2 players through it. He's got support on the left side from a player very passive, and there's no real way to get those kills for Heroic other than to run through the smoke, and they get churned up through it. Great to see Shox performing as well. This is a guy who's been around the block a little bit. We saw him on Movistar Riders back in 2021. He was there for about a year, played when they were moving away from the Spanish comms. They had Smooth in there at the same time. Really cool to see Shox in this roster because Finest, they've been grinding. They've been really putting together great results as of late, especially in these Pinnacle Cups, like winning last Pinnacle, number 4, even beating Spirit post-major. Some oomph comes through from Cadian though. He's picked Twist down in Con. This is where he started his 4K round the other. And Plesson's still here at least, but Heroic don't know that.
Yeah, the presence of this second man. You were hoping it was going to get this trade. You were hoping it was going to get someone seeping through Com, but that is not the case. Just springs out late and deals with Pleston. And so Finest are left in another one of these 3v5s. Now, they made it close last time. This time, it's all hinging on this B hold. And right now, it's only 1 man here.
Oh, the re-aggression. It's going to get caught. Perfect for Tessers on the lurk. Just left alone in party. Na'Vi-esque with this hold as Heroic set up with 4 of the monsters. Shox may know it's coming after seeing 1 man alone in party. So the rotate is called. Finest want to go for this in a 2-on-5. Someone needs to go absolutely ham. And that has probably got to be Shox. Smoke down in the heaven. He's the only defender and he's gone in an instant. Anarquez, he may be flashy, but this one seems too far gone.
Yeah, there's the first. They're not expecting him to go for this. Oh, Anarquez! In with the double. 1v5 when this started. They might try and swing him together. Oh, it's a third! Arquez, it's so good, but it's brought to a close. Oh, my God, the balls to even attempt that. A 1v5 as he moved in.
He's just throwing himself around corners, Harry. I don't think, like you said, Heroic were ready for a man to go for the 1v5 AWP retake clutch. Nice try for Arquez. Those are some fantastic shots. This is why Dinko was hyping him up on the desk as well, right? KD may be consistent, maybe a guy going for openers and then chilling out, setting up flashes, playing out clutches. Arquez is happy to throw himself into fights. And boy, those are some fast shots. Finest, though, still falls short. A rebuy, but they've got to win it. Arquez with a missed shot down in con, they're running him down. He gets bailed from B. That's a really good save for Finest. They throw flashes from the B site through that broken door, and Heroic, who wanted to run down that AWP, get blinded and have to stop. A bit of respect for a moment. Ooh, they heard that.
Okay, a little boost up, but Refresh is ready for it. Good damage on the spam. Right now, this whole round is kind of teetering around the idea that Cadian's going to get a pick with this AWP. He's just holding over towards Monster, right? Right now, Finest have not seen that AWP all round, so it's a big question mark as to where it currently is. If anyone gets curious, if anyone tries to take a peek at Monster, they're going to fall to this AWP.
Yeah, this will be a B play, but you talk of curiosity. Plesser's coming in on the flank.
Oh, there's the tag for Arquez's AWP. He also takes one to the dome. Over here in mid, Plesson's now dead, and that's opened up a route into the A play. Tess says right now just wants to take space, wants to keep ownership on this A bomb site. Smoke goes a little deep, misses the mark, and so right now a path to rotate is still open. It's now been closed. A re-smoke in. Oh, Finest want to come through. They want to fight through this smoke. As they move in, Tessa's going to hold the line with the first. He's low on health. Trapped over here towards the truck. They've got him boxed in. How many more can he take with him? Still alive right now. Eventually run down, but it's traded. Refresh was waiting here for this opportunity. The time is running out for Finest. If they do want to go for this, they've got to move in now. And there's Kriaz with the kill to make it happen.
Ooh.
Just Cadian on the short side. Kit is on Kriaz. He's got to get on this bomb. He's sticking it now. Cadian with the first, but they're still on the bomb. And the defuse held. Cadian can't get involved.
Yeah, he had to hit that first shot. He had to find the guy in the 1v1 coming out of Dice, but he misses it. And the cover is there. The AWP doesn't even need to hit Cadian. Just time alone wins the round for Finest. Cadian could have done nothing about that after taking out the AWP. A nice try for Heroic, but Finest, again, look to make this series competitive. You have to respect them. They've come in very, very good right now. 4-3 fighting for each and every round, no matter the odds. And now we talked about Finest's money getting broken, but this time it's Heroic on the rocks. Aggressive MP9 getting shut down by Shush. They smoke the molly. They have a bit more room in middle. Finest now have to sit back on their laurels. Sneaky, sneaky.
Yeah, it's clear Heroic have come into this with the idea they're going to get aggro, they're going to get pushed, they're going to get aggression. This is very, very tapered, very measured by Heroic standards, and it's all designed to just work these picks that they are getting fed in the mid-round. A little 4-on-3 gained for Heroic, right? Yeah, even though they lose Refresh over at Monster, they were quick to keep this in their favor.
Yeah, they want to go ASAP, right? They saw this double push out through the B bomb site. They don't know where Twist is. He could be in the site already, but right now he's looking to play late into the round to backstab when Heroic have already cleared toilets. But the timing is perfect for Shush. These little lurks around Party, around Playground, have been excellent for Heroic in providing them out in mid-rounds to go back into bomb sites. It's been Tess, it's been Shush making this happen. He's going to keep it going. Spray will miss. Kriaz finishes the job. No kit, though, on this retake.
I mean, oftentimes they've been more than willing to throw themselves into these man disadvantage retakes, but this one, they're very, very measured here. And with them losing Kriaz over at long, Shox is just going to save. He was kind of playing for that the whole damn time. After time left on the bomb, he's still floating around, still giving this like a bit of thought that maybe it's worth going for, but I think so much time has elapsed.
He can also save here. He can poke his head in, maybe catch a player leaving the bomb site, trying to hunt down this kill, and then just save in the corner of the bank. So should just be fine. Heroic find 5, though. Really getting given a lot of aggro, like you said. Finest coming confident, and I like it. Trying to disrupt Heroic. I'm more interested to see Heroic CT side. That's where they do some of their best work, some of their gambles, some of their reads, stacks, however you want to put it. Some teams think it's just pure RNG at times, but it always seems to find a way to work. Finest right now at least staying competitive, but their money is kaput.
Yeah, I don't want to address the elephant in the room, but we're going to anyway. Pleasant 0-7. He's often the right-hand man to Team Finest, right? While Anarquez is this very, very flashy AWP player who can do the impossible. Normally, in terms of the rifling, it's Pleasant up there alongside him.
Yeah, I mean, look at Pleasant. He's the 3rd highest rated player in the event. That's insane as well. So you got to keep it in mind. You need your stars to perform in matches like this, even if you're underdogs, even if you never should be winning this series. It's Counter-Strike. There's always a way. Never over till it's over. Even these ecos. Kriaz has bought in with an MP9. Ahead of the Molotov, they see him, but he knows there's a second player there. Not going to be able to pick his fights. They tuck in and wait for the rifle to bail out Stown. Meanwhile, Heroic are waltzing through Monster. They won't commit. They're in no hurry, but Cadian at least setting up util to get Refresh involved. Finds the AK, might just decide to bail at that point. You know that's the one rifle they have in this round, so Heroic have no reason to go into it. Again, these gaps keep getting found.
Yeah, this is kind of Stown's specialty, man, though. He's very, very good at finding these gaps in A plays. It's something he does a hell of a lot. Just on a bit of a feeling, on a bit of, you know, kind of familiarity with knowing when he's caught a lucky timing. He's got a big break here to come in on this B wrap, and so even though they're going into the stacked bomb site, oh, hello, they are going to change their mind. Into Twist, into the Deagle.
Oh, dear.
It's a lot of damage, but they do trade it. It's not enough out of him. Ouch. Shock's left in the clutch, but in a 1v3 with the A site already compromised, he's going to think about saving here.
Yeah, Heroic thought the A site was completely empty, right? Not only did Stown find the gap, but they never saw Twist on the top site. Finest have been running a lot of 4-man B holds from the start of the round, so instead of waiting at 25 seconds for Stown to flank and try and multi-kill on B, they just let him lurk, cut off rotations with advanced position, and try and go back into A. There was a world where Twist gets that second shot on Cadian, and suddenly this round could be very doable, but the Deagle spam doesn't do it this time, and Finest will again have to hold on to very little. I say that, it's going to get denied whether you like it or not. Refresh is there to save the day for Heroic. 6 rounds on the T side of Overpass is a ferocious start, and it's only going to get better.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit problematic for Finest, right? If you don't start putting rounds up on the board soon, if Heroic do just run away with this T side, I mean, this should feel as good as done. You know, we really need to have that kind of tipping point soon. And I think it all started when you finally get Pleasant switched on. Right now, you know, you kind of been playing like 4v5. You've been missing one of your 2-star players.
Oh, is that one of the bug mollies? One of the... Wow, that's sick for Heroic. They throw it from T-spawn, it lands in Divider, Harry. That's so far. Stown's going to entry beam. Meanwhile, again, they run into the pistol stack, but it's no problem to slice and dice their way through. Heroic take another casualty, only 1, and that's a perfect round for them. I do love that molly thrown from T-spawn. Damn, we're seeing more and more, you know, infinity Molotovs, as they're called, get figured out. You can even throw, like, from toilet to a B-site molly as well. People figuring out some crazy stuff in this game.
Yeah. You know, that Molotov originally, I think, coined by Rain from obviously FaZe Clan fame.
I've heard of him, yeah.
So Heroic borrowing some stuff for their bag of tricks.
Timeout now. Time for the coach to get involved. Come in with some fighting talk. We've obviously got Bogdan standing behind the folks of Finest and Exist. A Swede on Danish soil. Well, on Swedish soil in a Danish team. It's quite a nice dichotomy.
Oh, Anarquez has a mid-spawn. He hasn't really had too many of these. So this might be the first time we see him try to get involved early. And I want him to get involved early. If he finds this, like he was looking real hot with that AWP, just a few rounds to go. And having him posted on mid, this is nice info for Finest. They know at this point, no one's in middle. There's no attention being paid towards A right now for Heroic. And so as a result, Finest might look to lean a little heavier into this B hold. You can already see Pleston starting to make his way down. Flashes getting exchanged on the monster side. First man in is found, but it's traded right away. Twist waiting for an angle, waiting for someone to offer up a fight. And Heroic actually start to slink back on out of there. I think they've realized they didn't like what they saw there on that B play.
They also know they've got all the util out of Finest, right? They've not only forced heavy rotations down B, but a bunch of grenades have been used up. Heroic still have not only loads of time, but plenty of grenades. They're cycling them over. They're setting up Stand with util. Even if you recommit back into B later in the round, it's just better for Heroic. They get time to actually set up and execute. That was a contact monster play, and now it's just going to be a full B explosion with Stand at the helm. Meanwhile, Finest gambled, and they made the wrong read. 3 up on top, just Kriaz here. They can play a retake round, but with no kit and 1 smoke, again, this looks almost impossible for Finest to recover.
They're anticipating that they're going to get aggression here over towards CT. They're holding for it right now. This is giving a lot of space to Heroic. Finest are not going to get the push they're hoping for now. They could try throw a boost up, but I think this kind of point in the round, this late in, it almost feels obvious. Might just be best to commit to with the numbers if you do want to give this a go. There's a smoke on Pleasant. Maybe that could be used to help get you on this bomb in the long run. But right now, you've got to get past this triple hold up close. You've only seen Stout, and now you learn about everybody else.
Honestly, I'm a little shocked Finest even go for that round. I feel like they're feeling the pressure of how important this matchup is, and even how important some of these CT gun rounds are, that now they're trailing by. Because going for that retake is, whoa, these shots, man. Going for the retake when the bomb is already half-ticked, with no kit, with no position. Heroic have established post plants. They've got crossfires. That was almost no way for Finest to win that round, but they try and give it a go anyway, and it's going to cost them everything they've got.
Mate, Anarchez is still looking really, really fast. Yeah. It's such a shame that when he finally has the mid spawn, that's the one round that Heroic just full lean B. He never even gets that early fight with the AWP. Don't get me wrong, the information's nice, right? It helped Finest kind of get a better idea as to what was happening in that round there. But,
oh my goodness.
P90 for Stam. We got any P90 fans? Let's see what he can do with it.
This is ballsy. This is just a bit of a flex right now for Heroic. They feel invincible. Stan's going to try and sell mid alone, as again, Heroic have found the weakness. They found the way they want to exploit this T side.
Ooh.
Another pop with just a Molotov. Stan comes back, and in they go.
Difference is the AWP's here this time. Might not even be needed. Shots with his 5-7. Disrupting the B play. Heroic now need to look for another avenue into this round. They need to find a new place to lay their hat. Shoxon sent them out of B, and they never really had much going on in middle, right? Even though Stan was kind of faking it early, he's got them a bit of presence there. They don't want to go back. They don't want to spend all this time clearing dead angles.
Yeah, a big part of it as well is when Heroic have sent a lurker up on A, they've often found gaps, right? Think about Stan finding timings through A, or Twist getting caught in toilets in the late round. Instead, Finest just put a guy on the bomb site. He has full info, he can jump spot, he can call for rotations. Miss flick for Anarchez. Again, Heroic go cold, and Finest panic. They over-rotate. They need to pull players back down to B as Heroic try and get involved.
Yeah, but these rotates are going to get here in time. The push from Heroic is pretty slow, what with them being re-smoked over on short. They know this AWP is here. They know they're going in to a Finest that is prepared, but they battle on anyway. Tess says, the man to open up, now playing inside of these site smoke, shrouded in a mist of run boost to get the P90 in. Tess says, still lighting up the opposition. Him and Stown trying to grind a way back in. It's only Kriaz left standing, and it's Stown's P90 to take it over the line.
The run boost P90 into the B site wins a 3-on-5, Harry. Heroic are having fun with it. Nothing can stop them. Nothing in the way. That's a ridiculous round to win. And to think that they kill almost everyone and even get the bomb plant before the final kill comes in. They didn't need to plant. They could have hunted the kill. But Heroic feel, as said, invincible. And I can't blame them. 9-3. They're going to go back to the rifles. A little bit safer this time. So will the CT side. Double AWP, in fact, coming out. And yeah, I want to see Anarchez get involved. He's been avoided very well by Heroic so far.
I mean, this is a big problem. Like, you're Your AWP star, who is feeling it, is just getting hard avoided, hard countered. And then your rifle star is still 0-11. It's just a non-starter for Pleasant. I would love to see a timeout. If he doesn't turn it around soon, maybe take a bit of a timeout, try give him that pep talk, try come up with something that makes him, you know, like the focal point of the round, set him up with some flashes if he wants to get involved early.
Nice opener for Kriaz, but again, we've seen Heroic win so many man-down rounds, right? This is not a done deal till it ticks over on the scoreboard. At this point, Finest feel like they have to do something crazy. Kriaz coming in on the big flank. Anarkez in the right place, hits the right shot. The flick won't connect. He's getting hunted, and Stown changes angle. Anarkez isn't ready for the reposition. 3-on-4 now with a low player. This flank is still happening, but they're being held. Oh my goodness, you are annoyed if you're Kriaz. Shush sits in spawn and gets it done. 3-on-3. Pleasant's trapped. He needs to get on the board.
This is his moment. Right now, the round is in the palm of his hands, and it's not an easy fight to have to win. Double swung by Cadian and Stown.
It's just well played, man. I mean, he was flashed off. He was forced 20 bullets out of his A1S, and then he gets peaked with 5 left. You have to be pinpoint at that point. There's a player who's walking through B, but Heroic don't have time to wait for him. 15 seconds, they've got to go.
There's Shocks. He should have heard this. He does. He reacts in time. It's just Cadian who needs to plant at this point. He's going to find himself a little gap. Shocks running through, and he will deal with him. Bomb plant means nothing for Heroic. It's a Finest round when all is said and done. And so they do manage to regain control of that one there.
Yeah, I love how much Heroic are just playing with these flanks, right? They've actually not done that much, right? The positions getting gained by players walking through empty bomb sites. Hasn't won them any rounds per se, but it just shows how free they feel, how confident they are, that they can be on both bomb sites at the same time. But the clock ticks down, and it lets Heroic out of the round. Finest just struggling to pull back a couple of CT-sided picks at the end of the half. 1 or 2 more chances here, but Heroic, doesn't matter what happens, they have won this T-side clearly. Double up again, but it's not on Shocks this time. It's Kriaz instead. Might be spawn-based. He's taking his towards the lower bomb site. Anarkez up on long. And let's see if Cadian can open up some picks. He's done so in the connector before, but this time left open and empty by Finest, who seem aware that someone could have crossed into the playground. They're not wrong.
Oh, I think Pleasant could have got spotted there. Luckily enough, he's dropped out of party, didn't decide to hang around. Refresh, waiting for B aggro. And he's going to get the info about that scary AWP waiting for him on the other side of Monster.
Bogdan's Law, I mean, he is their coach, so it does make sense for Finest. Twist is going to get the AWP. He will find a pick from it. Nice stuff. Finding Stown off the top of the boost into connector. Heroic again have this mid control, but this time not just one player on the A site. Pleasant still silent. Gonna finally get on the board with his first kill. It was about time. Give him a cheer. Cadian out towards B, and Heroic in a 3-on-4 try and get into this site with 40 seconds.
Yeah, they got time here, right? Might try to hold off on lobbing this Molotov in. Smoke's down on short right now. You want to try and get all the value you can out of this limited util they currently possess. And so they start to make contact dry out on the Monster side. It does not go their way. Just Cadian left.
Surely
He's
not.
got 20 seconds to go around the world and plant in this A bomb site. But right now he's being given room. They are starting to scramble rotates. Everyone's moving up. But Cadian, he loves these clutches. He loves these moments. Tap on the bomb. Now they hear him scope in. No one has to peek. This has given them more time. He cannot win the round anymore. Cadian's just got to get out of there. And they might even find him after time. They've got him trapped in at the divider, but no one's going to be able to execute the IGL of Heroic. He does get out with that AWP.
To think if he stuck it on the first time, he actually would have gone into the post plant, right? No one actually ran him down on that first fake tap, and that's because they just weren't close enough to trade the kill. They didn't want to offer up 1v1s. You know what Cadian's like in those clutches. You don't want to give him the chances, and so, yeah, they call his bluff, and as a result, he kind of outreads himself, but understandable in a 3-on-1, thinking there's a player ready at A. Finest were a little late on that rotation. Still going to be late enough to win it, though. 5 rounds, looking for the last. Money isn't perfect for Heroic. They're going to use pace instead. Shush chases out through Connector. Heroic have been very, very slow in this position before, so the change will catch Finest off guard, get a lot of control early. Pleston's keeping it up. He's come out of nowhere with 3 kills in the last 2 rounds. Anarkez even gets a pick on the top site, and we've got this late reboost to get a lot of info for Finest. Oh, that looked dead on. Micro adjustment kills Cadian.
They're just going to try and walk B again. Having a play contact just on the back of Cadian's flashes. No util in terms of these smokes going out. Everything is designed around winning the fights. Now they've got that smoke for sure, but there's still bodies inside of the site. They are getting thinned out. Cadian's found himself another. Now starts to wrap through the backline. Cadian does have the bomb, so this has got its fair share of risks, but he's not afraid to take a bit of a gamble. Run up by Pleston, and it's a big double to find another round for Finest at the end of that first half.
Yeah, it was more just a shaky start for Finest, right? It felt like they didn't come in hot. Heroic looked really warmed up from the get-go. Anarkez finally starts to come in with impact towards the end of the half. He was completely avoided, throwing himself into 1v5s just to try and get a taste of the action here in the CT side. But by the end, Finest start to find success. They put a little bit more pressure on that B side, rather. They play far more safe on the A side to avoid getting picked by some of these lurkers for Heroic, and it works out pretty well. 6 rounds at the end of their defense, but we know how CT side of the game is right now. We've seen it all tournament long, so Heroic is certainly in a good spot to take their first map of the series, their pick, their chance. With Vertigo up next as well, it screams a good series for Heroic. Oh, Cadian. He didn't see a thing. He's going to leave it to the double long.
Oh, that's a nice opener out of Anarkez, man. These AWPers always keen with the pistols. And now they kind of slow it down, starting to move up Cadian. This is not going to be easy, man. You're about to get quad-faced on the back of the flash. And he can't find a thing. Full blind. Pleston. It's opened up a route into the A play. Tess says now the only defender. Saw the double long push earlier on. They've got to be cognizant about this. These flashes have been great to get the pistols off the angle. Now they've got to deal with him, though. Now they've got to nail the execution. And Tess's doubling up has suddenly put Heroic right back into this round. He considered the flank for a moment, but Anarkez has found this timing. Oh, missed shots. Will nail it the second time around. Okay, 3v2. Anarkez doing what he can on the P250. Heroic starts to move in, but time is of the essence, and Pleston is now on the board in a very big way. There's the closer. It's Anarkez and Pleston to make it happen.
These have been the stars of the show in the last few rounds, right? Certainly the 2 and 3 highest rated players of the entire tournament so far, only below Blame in Astralis. And yeah, Anarkez comes in with some goodies on the P250. Pleston also, as said in that first half, such a pivotal pistol player for Finest, and he comes in with 2 of his own. This could be a recovery off the back of the pistol. Heroic might even force up out of sheer confidence. We saw some mad buys in that first half anyway. And so they shall. They want to flip the script immediately, but losing this will level out the score. However, Heroic have no plans to lose. Scout tag for Stown and a 4-man pistol B hold.
Down Scout, nothing to laugh about, man. He's keen with this gun. Over at long, he's throwing himself into every one of these fights. And I mean, both these players were tagged by it, so they don't want to go back in and try to challenge that Scout. It's going to hit like an AWP. Not the ideal start for Finest, man. These rounds get really scary with a couple of your rifles tagged up. Suddenly you're a lot more measured. You're having to really slow this down. One bullet could remove a big gun from play and put it in the hands of the opposition.
And the further Stown is pushed back by these positions, the more teammates rotate back up, right? We now have Cadian here who can finish the job the Scout started. Kriaz was trying to solo fake B. He did pull a 3rd player back down, but it goes quiet and Tessis doubts it. He's already begun to move up. 30 seconds, Stown finishes what he started, but there's so much more to do.
Yeah, the Scout is no longer the object of this round. Now it's got to be the pistols as the fighting gets close quarters. Tess says, will respond with the burst.
Oh, no.
Makes it a double. Cadian still waiting patiently
It's
alone.
done.
And Finest are out of there. They're saving. They're done with this one. The Deagles, the Scouts, they've done it for Heroic.
Oh, very dangerous fights right at the end. Just trying to keep their rifles. They know Heroic have nothing to lose in running down these players, so they shall. 5 seconds. Anarquez does not want to fight. He wants to live. And sadly, for Finest, that's Heroic taking the force fight. It was a similar position in the first half where Finest held on to 2 guns. They were able to do it in the next on CT side, but this is not quite as pretty for them. 1 AK, Stown and Tesses shred this round apart. And really, this should be Heroic starting to pick up some serious steam on their CT side.
Yeah, I mean, that is really worst case scenario for Finest. It really is. And it all started with those scout tags, you know, like just slow down that A play to a crawl, and it let Heroic get so comfortable elsewhere on the map that they felt assured in rotating those bodies over towards the A bomb site. Stow might not have been the guy racking up the big body count, but with the info, with the damage he got, he teed Heroic up for that one.
Yeah, you don't really have a choice but to force in this position for Finest. They have to throw everything at it, see what sticks. But Heroic's by far more effective. Looking to fight mid early. Tessa's with the 1A, 1S, goes over the top. Twist is spamming, just alone right now. Tessa's doesn't get much vision towards that middle area. Good grenades, do damage up onto Stown, but Refresh got aggressive ahead of them and took down a short player. Cadian picks Pleasant and Con and then immediately escapes towards that B bomb site. Right now, Heroic is just finding all the kills on lower. Eventually, Twist gets a bit of a response. Deep smoke to cover the door. Cadian spamming through it. Twist needs to wait for the reload before he moves in.
Yeah, the Twist Eagle used to be a real treat.
Yeah.
Sadly, now he's on the A1S, so the journey with that sidearm going to come to a bit of a close. He does have armor to work with as well. So he's armed, he's dangerous here. Finest are going to slow it right down.
And this is good because you've actually forced Heroic into a 2-2. It's very rare to get these guys to split up that much. They love their reads. They always believe in Cadian's calls. They love a stack, a gamble. And so Finest just going cold, much as how Heroic did in some of these 3-on-5s outside B, has split the defense in half. This is Finest's best chance to win a very difficult round.
Going to be a hard crossfire to get past, though. You've got the electronic smoke going in now, and with Shush landing an opener like that, this gets real rough for Team Finest. It's a lot of damage onto the one gun. Shox has been able to work his way up inside of this smoke, but with only 12 seconds left, Twist is already out of there and saving.
That's done.
And Shox just looking for damage, hoping he can take guns out of the round. That's the end of the line for him. It's a one and done, and Twist gets away with the save. But at this point, I mean, man, oh my God, they go running at him. They tried to take the gun away. Is the save even worth it at this point, though? It's going to leave the money in like such a weird way for Finest.
Yeah, they still have to eco, don't they? That was the force buy off the back of Anarquez saving an AK, and it's basically the same round, but Finest don't have the investment around it. That would be digging quite a grave. Nice try in the final second to get that D shot off and try and plant the bomb. Forced Heroic to kill him rather than after time. Don't want to allow that money to get built up for Finest. Again, as said, it's just these pistols and the perfect round to go full blame F, take that mid control. Tesses does it. Love this angle. Very hard to clear. You can't do it until you're out in the open and admitted. And he's being baited for by Cadian on the rifle. Doesn't even need to take these fights. He's shown his hand. He drops the smoke, but that's a evisceration for Twist. Tesses needs to get some kills off here. He's alone, out in the middle of the open. Ding and run down. He should be dead, and he is. Guns now gifted to Finest. They have a way of making these ecos look winnable.
Stown's trying to be the hero, trying to be the guy to save this round from getting out of hand. Wow. Stown waits in the smoke and then pounces at just the right moment. Sure, it's only pistols, it's an anti-eco, but my God, he just saved the man. That was starting to get a little bit scary with guns retrieved. Now it should be plain sailing for Heroic. They've got the bomb in middle, And they've only got one man left to beat. Shox is trying to get tricky with it. Going all around the map, all around the world.
Yeah, I hate to break it to you, this isn't going to work, is it? Heroic have the angle, they have the range advantage. You know, Stown is low, one shot from death, but he's just staying on the right position right now. So in theory, this should just be done for Shox, unless he catches the immediate shot, and he won't. Stown's ready, 4 kills on that anti-eco, and like you said, it doesn't matter that it's pistols. That was a precarious position to be in for Heroic, and Stown saves the day yet again. Heroic now the hardest test of this entire half as the first gun round comes in. Anarquez does have his AWP, but Cadian will meet him there. A head-to-head that we wanted to see, something that we've not really had in this game already. Cadian takes a mid-fight, and Anarquez isn't far.
Oh, Pleasant, so unlucky, and I mean, this boost
Perfect.
is going to rid you of another man for Team Finest. They didn't even have a lot coming into this round, now they've got even less. One full belt of utility on Twist, and that's got to be the thing that sets up all of Team Finest to make a play happen. If he dies before that util comes out, this should be a done deal.
Heard the drop off the boost, Kriaz did. Heroic getting so cheesy with some of these calls.
He tried to drop the util to Anarquez, tried to give him the smoke, but he accidentally picked it back up.
Oh no.
Now it's just a flash to make this play happen. They're going to have to smoke Heaven on the fly. This could be problematic. Twist is walking in, going very, very deep into the B side, but waiting back at Graffiti on the angle. Shush was meant to deal with this. Instead, Twist is going to find his way into this B site, the spearhead to open it up for Finest. Bomb now planted, smoke in Heaven, and they've dealt with Testez in Connector. Finest are building back into this one, a 3v5, turn 3v2, and Heroic are so far removed that they might not give this one a go.
Yeah, Kit's littered on the bomb side, but that deep smoke decides it for Stown. He wanted to go through, but he's cut out at CT spawn. Way too many angles and corners to clear where Kriaz is playing, so Finest will manage to pick it up. Sick round off of a 3-on-5. Heroic won a similar one, but it's not like they had no one down on the B side to stop it. The key there is Twist deciding and calling for Anarquez not to throw the flash. He realized he had so much space and he wanted to try and contact into B. Completely caught them off guard. Heroic may have been holding it, but they can't put a stop to it. Finest get on the T side gun round, and they do it with style in a very difficult spot. Heroic can't get ahead of themselves yet. If we have more clutch out rounds like that, there is a chance for Finest. Hell of a lot of experience on a player like Twist, right? So exciting to see him perform on the stage. Remember, folks, this is the lower bracket. Loser of this matchup goes home with nothing. 15 grand in their pocket, not a bad bit of chump change, but they all want to get to that grand final. Heroic favorites have to fight with no backup.
I mean, all in all, right, even though it's felt like Heroic were kind of running away with this, you know, they definitely were on the back of the T side. It looked really, really good. Scoreline now is only a matter of rounds apart. 4 to be exact. And I mean, you know, if Finest are able to push them to their limits here on Overpass, that's a pretty good sign for the remainder of the series. This isn't really like a Finest go-to. It's a map that their results on recently haven't looked too favorable. So, oh, hello, Refresh. Trying to be ballsy with the push. Him and Shush go through and they win it. That is madness. Set up by a flashbang. They just run at Finest. They throw in something a little reckless, a little risky. And they can take the risks like that. They're up in the lead. They're brimming with confidence, and that's one way to completely disrupt the game plan here.
It's so great to see Heroic have plans to open rounds on CT side, right? All of these gun rounds, they've been doing it, whether it's taking mid at the start with, you know, supporting utility and bait and switches, or previous round where they did 2 boosts off the top to find a 5-on-3, even though they lost the round right there. They just don't respect Finest. They come through the smoke with a flash. These are very decisive calls for Heroic, and they're catching Finest with their pants down. Does he clear it? Doesn't look like it. He spotted the head, but Cadian got the info as well.
Oh, there's that first, but he never cleared Divider. Could just get shot in the back here. Right now, Testes is letting him slip on by. I think right now, Testes is hoping that this is going to culminate in the A play, and he can catch that bomb rotating back. But there is a world where Pleasant could just full commit to this B-Rap. If he does that, suddenly Testes is going to regret letting this man go by, and with so little time left, it's got to be the B play. Shox, he's found the gap here. Him and Stown have gone past one another, and so he can get the backstab on the solo B hold. He hears them dropping down, his attention's pulled away, the bomb's going down inside of the site. Shox gonna trade that out. It's planted for Heaven. He drops on in, looking to fight for the site control. Ooh, ready for the Heaven swing, but Testes gets the better of him. Heroic do a good job of regaining control of a very awkward scenario there.
If Shox goes one step further out of Heaven, they win that round, honestly. He would have killed Refresh before he stopped the planter off the bomb, and it would have been a 2v2 with Heaven under control. He wouldn't have felt the need to drop into the bomb site to play that round out, and Testes with a perfect shot off the AWP. Really nice try for Finest. They would have loved to go onto the A site as Testes was trying to read, but with that bomb already at Monster with 20 seconds, they just didn't have the choice. Very scary, but Heroic get it under wraps. Another rifle round goes their way. Another eco is drawn to the table for Finest. And they're going to be relying on that 14-8 buy round for a near flawless comeback on their T side. Heroic keep clutching out rounds, and Finest is just clutching at straws.
They used one of the two flashes to get into mid-late. Heroic were not playing it, so that one goes to waste. Why do they want to use this next flashbang? You could use it to take mid, but then you don't have anything for the actual execute into the site itself. So they are just having to play contact on this one. Now, thankfully, Heroic are giving them room, right? They're giving them chances here to work their way up middle. Contact ain't going to be made till they try to take the toilets, till they try to pressure this A bomb site, and Cadian's looking to be that first point of contact. Going to be him or Testes. Testes in a deep angle into the toilets. And he gets the info that they're close. That repeat from Pleasant. If that was a kill, it could have meant everything. Instead, Cadian's going to hold the line, bail his teammate out. Stown's here as well, laying down the pain. And so Testes was never even worried. Might have been tagged up, but his teammates provide cover, provide that overwatch. And so just Kriaz left. Cadian will silence him. Heroic up onto 14 and now starting to run away with this on the CT side.
Suffocating, that's the only word you can use for this defense for Heroic, right? They're not just playing their gambled anchor stacks, they're getting so aggressive, they're boosting up in early rounds, they're pushing smokes, they're taking middle, even re-aggressing against pistols. They are so confident right now. And yeah, okay, maybe it's not the typical level of opposition that Heroic have had to face in these playoff matches, but it is reassuring that they can come in, look confident, make quick work of Finest despite some big rounds coming out, some big clutch rounds where Finest have pulled back man disadvantages. It's not stopped Heroic in their tracks. 14-8, it's this round or it's done.
Over in mid, it's traded in favor of Heroic. It's not the start that Finest wanted. This bomb is now left up on its own, trying to contest for middle, trying to hold on to this real estate that they've just sacrificed 2 players for. Stown's going to make it out of connector, but he's gone back in. No, surely not. He doesn't want to concede this. He doesn't want to give it up. There is a world where he could get peeked from mid. He could get faced from the top of con. So right now he's on a knife's edge. He needs to win this, and he will. He's given himself a way out. He's given himself a backup plan. Stown still down in con. This is now an awkward round for Finest. They've lost so many important fights here, going 1 for 2 in the opener. Now having this con player just run rings around you. Finest don't know where to look. They're worried about so much, and it's Cadian from dead ahead, faces them square on, and refreshes there to close. Heroic up onto 15. Map point now on their map pick.
And this is why they're the favorites, right? Still, despite being in lower bracket, we expect them to make a run. We expect to see them in the final. They'll have to fight through the loser of Big versus Astralis if they manage to take this series as well. Remember, it's only map 1. It's Heroic's pick at least. We have Vertigo coming up as a second. But you'd imagine Finest, hey, they put up a damn good fight on this one. Still think we have a competitive series on our hands, but Heroic want it to be anything but looking for the 2-0. One more ought to do it. Anarch's flashing them out into B short. This control is taken. Heroic haven't fought for it with the exception of boosts. That's been it. Stound's even AWPing in mid. Finds shocks. Cadian leaning down on B, and again, it's the re-aggro. It's all Heroic have been doing. You can't get comfortable. Ooh.
Okay, that's a big fight, 2 of 1, but there's so many more where that came from. And now Kriez, he's trapped in a cage, and it's really heating up. The molly forces him out, forces him into a fight he didn't want to take. That is a big spam out of Pleston. Okay, now there's a chance here. Pleston with a bit of an RNG shot going his way on the spam. He's dealt with the short side fallback, and so it's just refresh to hold on, and hold on, he shall. Heroic. They pick up Overpass, they pick up their map pick, and they're now 1-0 up in this series. They don't break a sweat on their way to close that one out.
No, they look so comfortable, right? Even with that first half. We kind of expected maybe a dominant affair, but Heroic, they go one step further. They take a clean sweep on the CT side, and we'll have to come back with the next map to see if Heroic can close this out in 2. Vertigo's up next. Don't go anywhere.